All right, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. We're going to connect a fruit you probably have on your counter to a really serious, high-stakes medical emergency. I know, it sounds a little wild, but stick with me because the science here is absolutely fascinating. So let's just put the main question right out there. Could a pineapple, of all things, actually be useful in an ER? It seems pretty far-fetched. But to even begin to understand how that could be possible, we first have to unpack the very specific crisis that needs a hero. And that crisis is something called ovarian torsion. Honestly, the subtitle here, "When a lifeline gets twisted," is the perfect way to describe it. It is literally what happens when a vital connection in the body gets twisted up, creating an incredibly urgent medical emergency. So what's actually happening here? Well, it's basically a 4-step countdown to disaster. First, the ovary twists on itself, and bam, it's like kinking a garden hose. The blood supply is cut off. Now, this means blood can't get out, so the whole thing starts to swell up. As it gets bigger and bigger, it squeezes the arteries shut, so now fresh, oxygenated blood can't get in. And that final stage, necrosis, that's the one you don't want to reach. That's when the tissue, starved of oxygen, just starts to die. So you might be wondering, what makes this more likely to happen to someone? Well, a major risk factor is polycystic ovarian tissue. Because it's often larger and heavier, its increased volume just physically makes it more likely to twist. This is a really important link that puts people with PCOS at a much higher risk for this kind of emergency. Okay, so the solution seems obvious, right? Get into surgery, untwist the ovary, and get that blood flowing again. Simple. But this is where things get really tricky. This is where we run into something called the reperfusion paradox. It's a situation where the cure, the very thing you're doing to save the tissue, ends up causing a whole new crisis. And that crisis has a name: ischemia-reperfusion injury. Let's just break that down. Ischemia is the damage you get from a lack of blood flow. Reperfusion is just a fancy word for the blood flowing back in. The paradox, the real kicker, is that the return of that blood, the very thing that's supposed to save the day, can unleash a second wave of serious damage. This lays out the two-part injury perfectly. On one hand, you have ischemia. The tissue is literally starving for oxygen. It's suffocating. But then, on the other side, you have reperfusion. When that blood suddenly comes rushing back in, it's not a gentle trickle, it's a flood, and it creates this storm of destructive little molecules called oxygen radicals. So any cells that managed to survive the first attack, the starvation, now get hit by a second chemical attack. So the big question becomes, how in the world do you fight that second wave of damage? And this, right here, is where our story takes that totally unexpected turn and introduces a hero from a place you'd never think to look. Our potential hero is called Bromelain. You know that tingly feeling you get in your mouth when you eat a ton of fresh pineapple? Yeah, that's this stuff. It's a powerful mix of enzymes found mostly in the stem and root of the pineapple. And it turns out its ability to break down proteins is just the beginning of what it can do. Bromelain is definitely a mouthful of a name, but what it does is actually pretty straightforward. Its whole job, in this context, is to fight that chemical storm, that oxidative stress we were just talking about, that causes all that damage when blood flow returns. And just to be clear, this hunt for a solution is not new at all. Scientists have been trying to find powerful antioxidants to solve this problem for a long time. They've tested everything from lycopene, which you find in tomatoes, to curcumin from turmeric. Bromelain is simply the latest and maybe one of the most interesting candidates in this long scientific search. So what's the big deal with bromelain? What are these so-called powers that have scientists so interested in what it could do here? Let's unpack the toolkit. Well, for one thing, bromelain already has a pretty impressive resume. It's not a rookie. In studies looking at heart tissue, it helped limit the damage and even improved function after blood flow came back. Same story with the liver. It reduced that I/R damage. And just in general, it's really well known as a powerful agent for reducing swelling and inflammation. So let's break down exactly how it pulls this off. First, it's an immunomodulator, which basically means it helps calm down the body's over-the-top inflammatory reaction. Then, and this is the really important part, it directly gets in the way of those damaging free radicals being formed. It also seems to decrease something called apoptosis, which is basically programmed cell death. It's like it tells the struggling cells, hey, hang on, don't self-destruct just yet. Which, of course, brings us to the final multi-million-dollar question,
we have this really serious problem, ovarian torsion and the reperfusion injury that follows. And we have this promising hero, Bromelain, that has a proven track record in other parts of the body. But here's the catch. It's been shown to work on the heart, it works on the liver, but has anyone ever actually tested it for this specific injury on this very delicate tissue? And that is the exact question that researchers are finally trying to answer.